Hello everybody, in today's episode we are talking about how on earth did New Balance become the hottest brand in sneakers. Now some of you out there are going to be thinking things like,
man, I have been on New Balance for time.
I'm from the DMV.
We put y'all on ages ago, we've been on New Balance
Since birth.
That's fine, I'm not really speaking to you. There might also be some of you out there that are thinking things like New Balance is not hot, they're not hype, they are not it, I don't like New Balance and I never will. That's fine also. Either way, you can't disregard the fact that they are the hottest brand out right now. So how have they managed to go from one of these meh kind of like dad shoes, menswear brands to very much being like the top brand in sneakers and very much associated with hype streetwear fashion? Well, it is my contention that they've done it through some very savvy collabs as well as some very strategic co-signings. They've also done it by capitalizing on very it and current trends. They've also been pretty much like the rebound guy or girl for people that have broken up with brands like Nike and Adidas in recent times, owing mainly to boredom through oversaturation. Now there's a few New Balance sneakers that people want to point to as being the catalyzer for this New Balance renaissance. Some people want to rewind the clock back to even like 2019. Do you remember 2019 was basically Jordan 1 hype fiesta? But Aimé Leon Dore and New Balance actually put out a really cool pair of 997s in a pink tongue and a yellow tongue that were very desirable and very good looking and very good quality. Later on that same year, ALD and New Balance teamed up again for a pair of 990 V2s. This pair is now a grail for a lot of people, and if you check the prices on StockX, they go for some crazy money. Now both those sneakers are kind of like if you know kind of sneakers. If you're a New Balance enthusiast and you're bang into the brands, then fair play, it's common knowledge. But most people weren't really hip to that release, particularly as people were sidetracked with Jordan 1 hype. The sneaker that I think is one of the real catalyzers for the New Balance hype and momentum with the Joe Freshgoods 992, No Motions Are Emotions, Anatomy of a Heart. These sneakers released during the All-Star break when it was in Chicago, which is Joe Freshgoods' hometown. Now this sneaker is a crazy sneaker. It's got pig suede constructions with a vast variety of different pinks, light shades across the lateral side panel and end logo with more saturated, almost red counterparts along the heel counter, toe cap, top line. But what's more, the playful changes to the branding continue along the more subtle fixtures, so adding like the DBM just within the leather surrounded window as well as a lowercase "Don't Be Mad" emblazoned onto the vibrant tie-dye insole. It's just a very detailed sneaker with some awesome colors and awesome messaging, and it captivated the sneaker world's attention big time. You also had the Jound 992s in the classic New Balance gray and the mossy green. These sneakers off the back of the Joe Freshgoods continued to build up the momentum, particularly around the 992 for New Balance. Following on from the success of the 992 models, there's a couple more New Balance that I would point to as being the real catalyzers for the jump off, whereby New Balance were definitely a thing. One of them is going to be the 2002 R, particularly the Refined Future, aka the Protection Pack, especially in this colorway here, this cloud gray colorway. I can remember seeing pictures of this sneaker thinking, damn, I need those. Like, I never really felt like I ever needed a pair of New Balance, but these, man, I just thought I need to have those. I managed to get these not long after they dropped when the prices were, not crazy at all. I got these from StockX and I was so glad I got them when I did, because the prices went bananas there for a little bit. They did subsequently restock and they did come out in a couple of other colorways. I do actually wear the sea salt colorway as like a daily driver and I've beaten them to pieces. but this is one of the sneakers that really got people into New Balance. The next sneaker worth mentioning is of course the ALD 550s and the 550 model in general. You see, when the ALD 550 came out, it sort of became a really awesome alternative to the Nike Dunk, which had been, in my opinion, played out even like a year or two ago. And so people were loving the idea of getting an 80s classic basketball silhouette in a low top fashion, but with way better quality than a Nike Dunk for Nike Dunk money. The 550 came at the perfect time to coincide with the vintage trend that has been popping off for the past couple of years, with the popularity of thrifting gaining a lot of notoriety. This whole baggy t-shirt, baggy pants, 80s basketball sneaker that isn't a dunk provided the perfect opportunity for a sneaker like the New Balance 550 to just wade in and become popular. So there's kind of like 3 or 4 trends that have helped to facilitate the popularity of New Balance. One, as already mentioned, and probably one of the big ones, is the vintage or the thrifting trend that has definitely helped to make popular the New Balance 550s. But you've also, to a smaller extent, got the Gorpcore or the outdoor trend, which has helped to popularize certain models of New Balances as well as other brands too. But you've also got the chunky dad shoe, and New Balance have capitalized on that because they make some of the chunkiest dad shoes out there. And then also in more recent times, the old school running shoe, whether it's models like the 2002R or the 1906R, like New Balance running shoes have become very on trend. New Balance have made a couple of pretty important co-signings. I think a really good move for them was actually signing Kawhi Leonard. When Kawhi Leonard signs to New Balance, it was kind of like, it kind of made people just stand up and take notice of New Balance as being a serious competitor in the sports sponsorship realm, given how popular and successful Kawhi Leonard was. You'd also point to Jack Harlow as being a really important strategic acquisition for the New Balance brand, given his recent musical popularity and his propensity to collaborate with other very big figureheads in different musical genres. They've done all sorts of collabs with all sorts of people, but their most notable collabs for me have been the stuff they've done with Joe Freshgoods, Salehi Bamberry, Aimé Leon Dore, and Jound. These collaborators have been very, very important to help just validate New Balance's cool within the broader sneaker subculture. The last thing to mention with regard to how New Balance became so popular is really just the brand and model fatigue that people have been experiencing with Nike in particular. People have just gotten over the same old crap re-releasing ad nauseum from Nike week in and week out. And so as people have become a little bit stultified with Nike products, they've been looking elsewhere to see what else is going on in the market, and New Balance have been that rebound guy or girl just waiting to give those consoling, heartfelt platitudes to put your mind and spirit at ease as they sneak in for the grab and the kiss and ultimately the capitalization. From my own personal experience, having a handful of New Balances and comparing them to like non-collab Nike shoes, the quality is definitely a level up. So too is the comfort. So as people have fallen out of love with the same old Nikes, they've tried on a pair of New Balances and thought, wow, these are comfy, and love the fact that, wow, these are bang on trends. Do you know what? I'm into New Balance now. So it's been a very easy transition for a lot of people. There's also been a lot of sneakerheads and a lot of sneaker collectors like me who, owing to that same said boredom, have thought, you know what, I'll give New Balance a try, I'll give them a go, and have just fallen in love with the comfort and the aesthetic. And so there you have it, a timeline trace of what models I think have been responsible for bringing New Balance into the forefront of the sneaker mainstream. Those are some of the reasons why I think they've been able to be successful, capitalizing on trends and co-signing with the right types of athletes and entertainers, and collaborating with the right type of designers and influencers to create a different perception of the brand in the sneaker culture. And all those things together with a waning interest in brands like Nike have added to and ultimately resulted in the current success we're seeing with New Balance. So what do you guys think? Are you into New Balance now? Are you still on the fence? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button for me. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. I had fun making it, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Have a lovely day and peace.